Hey, everybody, welcome back to 32 All the Way with Doc. Today, we are going to be speaking to Mr. Alex G. Zarate. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good.
So basically, what I'd like to do is I always like to say hi to everybody first, so you're not just standing there staring off into the space. We'll do a little rundown, and we'll speak about the first series of books. We have Linked, Ripple of Minds, and Echoes of Innocence. So this is all considered under one realm. This is your first trilogy that came out.
Yes.
Okay, great. So let's give everybody a little background here. Alex G. Zarate is an active writer, a dedicated novelist, philosopher, positivity advocate, eccentric artist, and keeper to the secrets of the universe. He was born somewhere in Texas when a rip in space-time opened up a dimensional rift that nearly wiped out all of humanity. It might have been a little different, but he was newborn and had thought to take notes. Alex's first book was titled The Orb, a tale of adventure, exploration of the stars, and secret treachery only the ship's AI and the newly assigned captain can uncover in order to save the ship. So Alex writes obsessively, only leaving his enclosed bubble of reality from time to time, taking landscapes pictures while squinting at the blazing ball of fire as he hikes the countryside, marveling at the strange world beyond his computer screen. So it sounds like before COVID, you were pretty well. I don't know. You're encased in all your writing and researching.
Oh yeah.
There's a full-time gig for you.
No, I'm actually gainfully employed and looking forward to the day I can go full time as an author.
Oh, same here, same here. So tell us a little bit about the series, well, without giving away too much, because I would like the people to buy the books. Where do we start here?
I'll start with the first one, Linked. Linked is the first book that started it out. It depicts a young boy who finds a kitten, and the kitten has abilities that it shares with him, and that's where the whole series begins.
And this runs through all three books.
Yes.
So are there any that are basically any kind of standalone, or are you better off just starting with Link to figure out what's going on?
They can be all standalone. I recap everything in the very beginning, so you get to understand what's happening each time.
So where are you, again, without giving it too much away, this seems to come up all the time because a lot of the writers that come on are either it's some kind of space, it's some kind of science fiction, it's some kind of fantasy. Are you dealing with alternate reality? Are you dealing with dystopian? Are you mixing them all up? Are we on Earth as we recognize it with a twist? Give us just a little idea where we are.
I would say it's Earth as we have it with a twist. It's the abilities they have are able to see thoughts that people are having, and they can transport from one location to another. So for the most part, no one else sees anything that they do.
Okay.
So he's still the only one who can see what's going on. So he's the only one who can actually do things about what he sees.
The inspiration behind this whole series?
Inspiration was I've owned pets over the years. I've had cats, and they have a tendency to disappear when you're not looking, and you just turn around. It's like they're so quiet, they hide behind something, or they're so small they can sneak in areas, and it takes a long time to find them if they don't want to be found. And I kept thinking that would be a really cool idea if cats could not only just hide somewhere, but actually disappear altogether. And that's where it just sparked from there.
You let them out at all?
Did I leave them out at all?
Yeah. Do you let them go out of the house at all?
They would get out on their own.
Okay, because I'm sure you've seen it. Discovery Channel had it. I think it's about 10 years ago now. Basically, how I remember being 7 or 8 years old and heartbroken that our cat was gone for it had to be 6 weeks. And like all little kids, we put posters up and, oh, have you seen our cat? And we had a regular orange tabby, so it looked like every other cat in the neighborhood. But we were going, getting ready for school one day, and it opened the door, and the cat just walked right back in. So, was he gone for 6 weeks? Did somebody take care of him? Did he go on an adventure? I've always wondered.
For me, my cat would leave and return on a regular basis. The last time we had seen my cat was before we moved, and I kept thinking he's going to come back any second now, because we're getting ready to leave, and we've been packing for a few days, and never did. And I never got my cat back at that time. And I was like, okay, it's always in my mind. I'm like, where did he go to? What places did he end up did he find someone else? And in my head, it's, he's on some adventure somewhere, going off in different places. So.
We went to a cottage when I was about 10. And kind of the same thing. I guess we bugged my mom and dad. We have to take the cat. So we got up there, we took the cat. The minute we opened the door, boom, he was gone. And again, we were all heartbroken. Like, oh, come on, like he's not going to come back. He's in the wild. He doesn't know how to survive. He's a cat. No word of a lie. The day we left, my dad just started calling out the cat's name. Cat jumped in the car. Okay, let's go. You know what I mean? And like I said, that's why I can totally see the idea for your book, because I mean, we're all like, where the hell what were you doing? Where were you? Are you hanging out for 2 weeks? Like, did you hibernate? Did you sleep? It's a really interesting premise to see it all through the through the eyes of a feline.
Mm-hmm.
Are you giving them any kind of anthropomorphism? Are we talking to the cat?
He's talking to the cat. However, because I don't have him listening to people's thoughts, I have him seeing the images that people think. So that's how he communicates with the cat as well. It's like he projects thoughts that he's got, or ideas or concepts he's trying to convey, and together they form a communication from that. So it's not actual words, it's more images that they convey so they can understand one another.
Oh, that's pretty interesting. You're talking about the orb, about the first one. Is there anything in the orb that would pop up in any of these, or was that just something you started with? Put it aside.
Well, I started it and I liked it a lot. However, it was the first book I ever did, and I wanted to expand on it. So after doing the Link series, I wanted to do a little bit more because I learned so much from writing those books. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go back and release the orb again, but this time as a trilogy, so I can actually expand on it and put more into the story that I wanted to put in there in the first place.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Are you staying in this area, or are you thinking you're branching out to do different kind of genres?
Well, the orb is sci-fi, and the Link series is urban fantasy thriller type of a genre. So so far, those are the only two that I stick to.
Can you cross this over? Can you maybe cross the two over and find something in the middle?
There's always a middle, and I've got a couple ideas already in place that can actually bring them together in their own unique way, since one is in the future and one is in the present.
Now here, it sounds kind of mundane, but I'm always interested in this. My area is true crime and crime fiction, and I hear so many authors that the area that they write in, they just don't like to read in it. Whereas, if I turn my computer around, I mean, every book about organized crime, about the mafia, about the Hells Angels, about different territory wars, I absolutely love it. This has been a passion of mine for about 40 years. Are you deep into those kind of books? Or is it just this is what you prefer to write?
I've read many books of fantasy, many books in sci-fi. I'm always, looking for new ideas. I've even seen a few news articles and old stories where unique and mysterious things happen, and that's always a really cool thing to see, because that can always lend itself to fiction and all different genres.
But are you just one of those guys that's reading everything on your own time? Like you want to pick it up and you read it?
Yeah, every chance I get.
Yeah, part of the big reason why I wanted to do this is, to be perfectly honest, and I tell people this all the time, I mention in almost every interview, your books look interesting, and talking to somebody and getting the background is always fascinating to me. But it might not have been something that I would have picked up on first sight. You know what I mean? If it had a motorcycle on the cover, if it had, guy bleeding to death, oh, hold on, let me go check this out. And I'm just trying to tell everybody, I try and veer away from the cliches while doing these interviews, but just so many other ideas that people have that I think, oh wow, like maybe that's how everything comes together. And the company that you were referred to me from mainly all seems to be in that area. It's either youth fantasy, urban fantasy, mixed with a little science fiction, and honestly, things that I might not have picked up. But now other people are watching the interviews and saying, well, where'd you get this idea? It's not my idea, man. It's their books, but I think it's great to try and show everybody so much more that's out there. This whole indie publishing thing, I don't know if you took the same realm I did, but I just started writing and had somebody who luckily said, okay, let's turn this into a book. I would never discourage anybody from doing it, because I never thought it would turn out that way for me. Did you have the same view, or were you just like, this is the book, here we go?
Well, no, I tried to publish a long time ago, didn't get anywhere. And then I finally decided, okay, I'm going to try writing, finalizing a book and publishing. And if I can do it, terrific. If not, I can just say it's not for me. And I went through it and it was like, okay, best thing ever. I never felt better than when I was writing and putting my books out there. So that's what I stuck to now. And, indie publishing is like the best thing for any creative person.
I'm just really impressed with the level of people they are sending me, because there was a couple of ones in the beginning, or a couple of ones when I was trying to get the interviews myself, where, you hate to hurt anybody's feelings, but wow, some of these guys are out in space, man. I could tell you a couple of stories when the camera's off, because I don't want anybody knowing who I'm talking about, but there's been a couple where you're like, yeah, you know what, I'll get back to the block them out of the computer, so I don't have to talk to them anymore. How long do you think we're looking at for you to put up another series for us?
I'm working on the second series that is going to continue from the first one. I liked it so much, I thought, okay, I started him as a young boy. The second series will be him in the, as a young adult life, as he grows up to be an adult. And I thought, okay, instead of just working with his childhood time, I want to have him as a teen and a new adult type of person, to see what his life is and how he changed, and the things that you learn, what this type of ability would do to you as you got older. It's got a lot of thriller, suspense, drama in there. I try not to make it too geared towards young adult, because it's got serious things in there, killers and kidnappers and all sorts of things that happen in there. So yeah, I wanted to make sure he maintained his ground in reality throughout his life.
Okay. Are you waiting to release the entire thing as a series, or are you going to go per book?
I'm going per book. The next one I'm hoping to have out before the year's up, and then the last one for the second series out next year.
That's great, man. That's awesome. You've got a whole bunch of media links here, which we're going to make sure we put onto the page. But you were saying earlier yourself, it's mainly Facebook. What's your second choice here if people want to start just getting the flavor of your stuff right away?
Second could probably just be Twitter, or if not, YouTube.
Right. Yeah, we all seem to have the same. Some people have the web pages and stuff. We all seem to have the same media, and I just keep telling everybody, like, go in and take a look. It doesn't hurt you to go anything and hit that one extra like. So it's great to see. I thank you so much for your time, Alex. This will be posted probably within a week or two, and we'll get it out there hopefully when the next series is done. By all means, if you want to come back on and talk to us, let me know anytime.
All righty.
Thanks so much, guys. 32 all the way with Doc signing off. I'll speak to you shortly.